Good morning. It's Trish from With Love for You. Today we will be making 1 hour yeast rolls. This is one of my family's favorite recipes. I hope you enjoy. For this recipe, you will need 1½ cups of warm water, 1 tablespoon of dry active yeast, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of softened butter, 1 teaspoon of salt, 4 cups of all-purpose flour, and you will also need 3 tablespoons of melted butter and some coarse sea salt, and that'll be for the finishing of the rolls. So I have my dough hook attached to my KitchenAid blender, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and add the 1½ cups of warm water, two tablespoons of sugar, and the 1 tablespoon of the dry active yeast. I'm going to give that just a quick little stir to mix those ingredients together, and what we're going to do is allow this to sit for about 5 minutes to allow that yeast to start growing. And you'll notice at the end of the 5 minutes that you'll have kind of a frothy, bubbly mixture on the top of this. And that's an indication that that yeast has started to activate. So we're going to go ahead and let this sit for about 5 minutes. So as you can see here in the bowl, the yeast mixture has become bubbly and frothy on the top, and that's an indication that the yeast has started to grow. So we're going to go ahead and continue with the recipe. I'm going to add the 1 teaspoon of salt to my flour. Give that a quick stir. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start incorporating the flour into the stand mixture with the yeast. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my stand mixer to low speed, and then I will start incorporating the flour. So I added all of the flour to the stand mixer, and you're just going to let this mix for about 5 minutes. And as it mixes, it will form into one ball. And the stand mixer with the kneading hook will go ahead and knead this mixture for about 5 minutes. Once the dough has started to form, I've added the 2 tablespoons of softened butter, and we'll go ahead and let this continue to mix for the full 5 minutes. So as you can see, my dough is coming together nicely, and we're just finishing up with the 5-minute mark. I've placed the dough into a larger bowl that has been sprayed with non-stick spray. I'm going to cover the bowl with a towel. I've covered the dough with a towel, and I've just placed on top of my stove top in a non-drafty area where I'll let the dough double in size for about 20 minutes. So our 20 minutes has passed, and we're going to go ahead and check our dough, and you can see that it has doubled in size. So So what we're going to do now is we're going to punch down the dough, and what this will do is release the air that's in there. We will be doing a second rise on the dough, but what we're going to do at this point is cut the dough into small pieces and shape them into balls, and then we're going to place those into a prepared pan. I have sprayed a 13x9 pan with non-stick cooking spray. So we'll go ahead and prepare our dough balls and place them in the pan. So I've cut off a small piece of the dough, and I will form this into a ball, and I will place this into the pan with all of the others. I've melted my 3 tablespoons of butter, and I have completed creating the dough balls and placing them in the pre-sprayed pan. So I'm going to go ahead and brush the tops of these with the melted butter. And then we're going to give them a nice sprinkle of the coarse sea salt, and we will let them do their second rise for about another 20 minutes until they've doubled in size once again. So I finished brushing the dough balls with butter, and now I'm going to just give them a sprinkle with the coarse sea salt. And then I will cover these lightly with my towel again and place in a non-drafty area for another 20 minutes to let them rise. So my dough has been rising again for another 20 minutes. I did go ahead and preheat my oven during the middle of this rise so that it would be ready. I've got it preheated at 400 degrees. We're going to go ahead and take a look and see. So as you can see, the dough has risen again. And we're going to go ahead and place these in the oven for about 15 minutes or so until they have browned nicely on the top, and these will bake at 400 degrees. So it's been right at 15 minutes, and I've removed the yeast rolls from the oven. You can see that they've lightly browned on the top, and I'm going to go ahead and brush them with some additional melted butter. It smells fabulous in here. And of course these are very warm, so you'll want to let them cool slightly, but once you've let them cool just a little bit, you can enjoy them. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this recipe as much as we do. See you next time.